Well. We're here again. We're here today because I wanted to make a video talking about everything that's been going on in the last few days in the zombie community. We're here today because I posted this tweet on Twitter last night and people actually said that pineapple goes on pizza. That pineapple goes on pizza. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, guys. But in all seriousness, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. The first of which is the leaker that came out yesterday and basically revealed most of the remaining Easter eggs on the 4 launch maps. I swear to Blundell, if one single one of you guys makes fun of my eyeball, it's infected. I have a condition. Now, in case you weren't on YouTube yesterday or didn't see the post, this was basically the gist of it. Basically, there's a guy who is a QA tester for Treyarch, which means quality assurance, which means that he is a contractor. He doesn't actually work for Treyarch, but Treyarch pays him to come out and play the game early and test their game. Now, in his post, he basically said that he took a lunch break at the wrong time. They told him one time he took the lunch break at that time, and he came back and was fired because apparently he wasn't supposed to take a lunch break at that time. Now, after this happened, he basically decided that he had been treated unfairly, and he decided to go onto the Reddit and just basically leak all of the remaining Easter eggs that he knew about from all of the launch maps and all of their steps. So the first thing that happened when this post went up is that everybody jumped into game and started testing out and verifying basically, yeah, this guy is legit. He actually knows the steps that no one knew the steps to before, and yeah, he actually was a QA tester for Treyarch. The second thing that happened is that everybody started turning on Treyarch. Now, a lot of you guys were talking about this and asking what my opinions were on it, and basically here's my response. Now, full disclosure, this is coming from somebody who has gone to Treyarch, met the developers before, met a lot of the people on the team, and talked to them and had conversations with them, and I have a relationship with Treyarch. I've talked to them, I've gone there, I get invited out to events and everything like that. That's all out on the table. Now, all that being said, if he was actually fired in the way that he was fired, I would be pissed too. I don't know if I would go out and leak the game and kind of ruin all of these hours that all of these employees who have nothing to do with these decisions, all these people have like poured their heart and soul into making this game. And that is one thing that I know for certain is that the people who work at Treyarch, the people that I know that I have talked to personally, care so much about their game and making it the best game possible. You can say all you want, you can disagree with me all you want on any of the other points, but one thing that I know for certain is that the people who work on this game care deeply about their game. Now, does that excuse crazy bugs and everything like that on launch? No, and we'll talk about that in just a minute as well. But my point is that the people that I know that work there care so much about their game, and it's kind of hard for me to say, oh yeah, the Treyarch company just sucks because of the word of one person who was fired, who wasn't even an employee of Treyarch in the first place. He's a licensed contractor. So overall, wrapping up this point, I think that this guy was probably fired for a big other reason than he just took his lunch break at the wrong time. In my opinion, they probably thought that this guy is the one who has been leaking all this stuff since World War II. He was leaking stuff to everybody basically about the high round being the trigger for the classified Easter egg. Basically, if you guys weren't aware, there is a QA tester who is a leaker that basically Treyarch and all the other companies have been trying to figure out which QA tester is the one that is testing the game and then leaking all the information to people. And I remember seeing a bunch of tweets about stuff and everything like that, a bunch of information coming out about the game that all ended up being right, and that's because it's a QA tester. The Treyarch employees have been there forever, and basically I think they probably thought that he was the leaker and they couldn't necessarily prove it, but they had to fire him somehow, and then he kind of maybe just proved their point by leaking the entire game. Again, I don't know. This is just me kind of speculating. I don't think someone can be fired for missing a memo about, hey, your lunch break's this time, not this time. It doesn't make sense to me. I think they probably figured out that he was the leaker, thought he was the leaker, couldn't prove it, but needed a reason to fire him, and that's what they gave him. So obviously he kind of proved that point by going ahead and leaking the entire game when he did get fired. Again, just my guess, just my assumption. I don't know anything that you guys don't know, but that's basically my guess for what happened with this entire situation. And again, I will play devil's advocate. I know QA testers, not only a Treyarch, this is the entire game industry. QA testers are treated probably the most poorly out of any employees, basically, because they aren't a part of the team, they aren't a part of the company. They are important to games, and that's why everybody uses them, everybody needs them, and everything like that. But honestly, you can pull any old fan off the street, and as long as they have a basic understanding of how games are designed and how to replicate glitches and how to look for bugs and everything like that, pretty much anyone can be a QA tester, not anyone can be a programmer for the game. So it's unfortunate. I don't think it's right that they're treated so badly, but this is just kind of playing devil's advocate on it's not a good situation with QA testers in the entire gaming industry, especially around crunch times and everything like that. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. All right, on to everyone's favorite subject, blue screens.
My bullets. Oh my god.
You have to. No, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh my
dude.
god!
Bots, I have no
No,
idea.
dude. Oh my gosh! Where is it? Where's the controller?
Where is it?
Costly.
I can't even.
As soon as I shot a shield. And it crashed.
Where's the controller? Old trusty. Now, it's no secret to anyone that I have run into a lot of blue screen issues, and I know you guys have too. I know there's been videos made by pretty much every single big zombies YouTuber on this subject, and while I've talked about it a lot in tweets, I don't think I've actually ever mentioned it in videos. Aside from, of course, the big compilations where I just show all of the blue screens. There's a lot of them. So that being said, these are my thoughts on the current state of the game. Basically, the game started off completely broken. I mean, the first week to week and a half of the game being out was an absolute joke of a launch, and zombies, while it was still possible to play the maps and enjoy them and everything like that and get a feel for them, we were not. It was basically like you would start the game and then your free trial kind of like, or I guess not free trial, $60 trial would start, and you would basically have a randomized timer that would go anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, that at some point the game is going to crash no matter what map you're playing, no matter what you're doing, whether you're going high rounds, whether you're going for the Easter egg, the map is going to crash. And that was an absolute joke, and we've made that very clear. I think that's been beaten to the ground that the game should not have launched in that way, and it was just absolutely awful. Now at this point, I know you're all expecting me to just absolutely take a 10-minute crap on Treyarch and tell them how terrible their game is, how much of a joke it is, but I actually kind of want to take it in the other direction and kind of rant against the community right now. Now, I know everybody's going to create a bunch of drama about this just because I'm talking about another YouTuber and disagreeing with them, but Milo and I are friends. We've talked for hours about this. We talked a huge amount during my 4-hour stream doing the classified round 150 stuff. If you guys want to go back and watch this, this is just me kind of like mentioning it, my point of view, contrast to his point of view and everything like that. Please, just whatever. Actually, blow it up, dude. Noah J456 hates Mr. Waffles. Post it everywhere, baby. Tweet him. Tweet me. Get it out there, dude. We hate each other. No, but in all seriousness, I think that Milo is kind of over here on this side of the spectrum where he has experienced the worst of this game, and in his words, he's crashing all the time still. He still is having all these blue screen issues, and for some reason, in his experience, the game has been absolutely terrible, and he doesn't mind if people feel scammed or ripped off, and basically everything is on fire. Here he is on this end of the spectrum. Everything is on fire, and his videos have had so much popularity and everything like that, that it's almost created like a hive mentality of where the game was at launch, because Milo is still experiencing these, in his words, he's still experiencing all these issues. But I just want to kind of share my point of view because I am so positive about this game because it's been so great for me. Now, disclaimer, high rounds are still a joke. They need to be worked on. High round crashing is just way too high. I think Treyarch knows that. They're still working on it. They're going through it as quickly as possible. And I think that Treyarch needs 1000%. The biggest issue Treyarch has right now is communication. They have to communicate more. And that's where I am. That's my feedback to Treyarch. That's kind of what my Treyarch part focus of this video is going to be. Treyarch needs to communicate more. Over communication, oversharing all the information, oversharing bugs, and it seems in the last community post that Milo's feedback, to his credit, Milo's feedback about over communicating does seem to already have some effect on Treyarch actually responding to these issues and everything like that, and I think that's fantastic. I loved his parts where he was talking about over communicating and everything like that. But as far as actual game experience and liking the game, I am over here on the spectrum because I don't think I've crashed in the last like week and a half. I have had the absolute best time on zombies. There is 4 launch maps, which is the most maps we've ever gotten. There's a new game mode. I am absolutely loving doing the maps, just playing for fun. I think the maps themselves are fantastic. And the game itself, I love the new perk system. I love 99%. Now, do I still have my issues, things I want changed and stuff like that? Yes, I think the Blood of the Dead, what's Easter egg step with new industries, I know they nerfed it recently. Dude, I've had so many bad times with that, and I'm glad they've nerfed it recently. The game's not perfect. It's not 100%, but this is a 98% great game when you get past the issues with high rounds right now. In my opinion, the only thing that still like is just bugging me and plaguing me about this game, and obviously Treyarch's working on it, is the high rounds. High rounds are very important to a lot of people, and they're still crashing like crazy. But the game itself, when you're just playing a normal round 30 or doing an Easter egg speedrun, whatever, is actually working really well right now. And I wanted to kind of offer my side of the spectrum as opposed to this one, because I think people who haven't even had the issues that Milo has had, they've played the game and it's been fine and it hasn't blue screened, and they're basically not seeing the efforts that Treyarch has put in and fixed already a bunch of stuff. It's kind of creating a hive mentality. Even like I know people who have never crashed and don't even have the game, who I know personally, who have texted me saying like, hey man, Black Ops is pretty terrible this year, huh? Because I watched Milo's video and basically was talking about that. They've never played the game, but it's kind of created this side. So I wanted to offer my side on this and wonder, I don't know, man. I just don't know where so much negativity came from. The game launch was a joke. High rounds are still a joke, and I think Classified kind of reignited that fire with them having a way to get to the Easter egg by glitching, but not legit. I think that kind of reignited the fire. I think they should have absolutely disabled that Easter egg until the high rounds was fixed and they knew it was stable. I think that was a huge mess up on their part. But as far as the game itself, I just think the game is so good, and I just want to kind of offer my end of the spectrum and maybe do a little bit to offset this kind of hive mentality over here. And like, I'm not discrediting Milo's videos at all. He makes great points. He makes great suggestions. I think we need roadmaps. I think we need everything. We need dates for callings. We talked about this for like 4 hours. I agree a lot of stuff with them, but as far as the game itself still being terrible to this date, I don't think so. I think it was bad at launch. I think it was terrible at launch. But since then, I think the game is just made leaps and bounds. And once they get high rounds fixed and once they iron out the last of the blue screen issues, we can actually just enjoy the game for what it is. And I want to get that kind of positive outlook as opposed to a negative outlook. Everything's on fire. We're all going to die. And this game is trash type outlook. So I just wanted a little bit of a contrasting opinion there. So all that being said, I'm not going to ramble for too long here. I really actually want to start up a kind of zombie style podcast. Maybe not like a weekly podcast. Maybe it's just kind of one of those where I upload an episode whenever there's something to talk about, or stream it or something like that, where I bring on another YouTuber or 2 YouTubers, whatever, get their points of views and talk about things like this, especially when there's like a lot of talk in the community about stuff, especially when the game is new, especially when a new DLC comes out, whether it be storyline discussions, whether it be discussions about the state of the game. Like maybe the first episode could just be me and Milo talking about things and just having discussion about the game and kind of talking about our experiences and stuff. I really do want to do some sort of podcast or something like that, or maybe not even a podcast, just a discussion series where I bring on different people and talk. Let me know if you guys would at all be interested in that. I don't know if that would be I don't know if you guys would like that at all. I've really been thinking about it a lot recently, and I think it's something that I do want to do. I just kind of gotta figure out the logistics of it. But anyway, guys, that is about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of long and rambly. I'm really sorry about that. But if you did enjoy it, leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thumbs up each other's comments. Reply to each other. I want to really have a discussion and kind of hopefully bring some positivity to the game, because there's so much negativity out there right now that I just really want to be a positive influence, I guess, whenever I am actually really enjoying this game and I really enjoy what Black Ops 4 has to offer. Does it still have work to do? Absolutely. I think Treyarch still has their work cut out for him, but as a community, I want to show that I appreciate how much work they've put in, and I know overtime and everything like that they've been putting in to make sure this game is fixed and is being improved as quickly as possible. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next